I honestly can't believe I keep finding more cursed mobile game ads than the last for each of these videos. Do not play a mobile game that looks like this. Instead, I've rounded up a list of 30 actually good mobile games for you to try, which I've actually done 3 times before already, meaning after today I've supplied you with 120 mobile games that I can highly recommend. If there's a game you wanted to see that isn't in this one, there's a good chance I've played it already. But if not, please let me know which games still deserve a spotlight. We'll be going through 15 different categories with a wide range of genres to ensure there's something for everyone. Even a roguelike and a bullet hell category, can you believe it? I barely included any roguelikes in the series so far, and there's at least like 8 here, so I hope that makes up for it. Without further ado, let's somehow cover 30 more hidden gems, and hopefully I won't cover a single one that my audience condemns. We gotta start simple, So welcome to our simple starters category. It's easy to recommend a game like Automatoys. It looks good, it's fun, and most importantly of all, it's simple. As you hold down, you can control parts of each contraption and get the little ball to the end of the level. Some sections move on their own, so you have to time your movements carefully or you'll fly right off the stage. I like to just play on my own time and have fun, but if you like a challenge, you can try to beat each stage under the time limit to earn 3 stars. The different gimmicks are so fun and unique. You go from traversing a spinning maze to a claw machine all in the same level. The style is so vibrant too, I almost just like playing to see what color schemes will be featured in each one. I absolutely love this sort of thing. Chill physics-based puzzles are hard to beat in my mind. I've played through all of Automatoys in the past and had the time of my life. It's only $3 for the full game, and I promise each level is almost always better than the last. Welcome to Rooms of Doom, an endless game with different minigames depending on the room. You might be trying not to get squished on a conveyor belt, or playing Flappy Bird, or even shooting around in Donkey Kong barrels. As you play, you'll unlock new characters, and the best part, construct new rooms to play. You get to choose which one you want to build, and then it's yours to beat. I like that idea a lot and gives you a real reason to want to play well and make new high scores. It's certainly a unique art style, not totally appealing to me personally, but definitely reminds me of a lot of nostalgic classic mobile games, and the music's kinda banging, I won't lie. Anyways, I like how it gets faster the longer you play, but it doesn't really matter, dude. I'm always gonna die to that stupid alligator. Every time! I'm not joking, I did not die to anything else. I have truly found my Rooms of Doom Achilles heel. I could make hours and hours of videos talking about my old favorites, but we got a lot more games to cover today, so instead, here's a measly 2. I played Tsunami for the first time in one of my old ranking videos, and I never deleted it from my phone. Now, how often have I played it since then? Not much, I'll be honest, but I still love it dearly. You start off pretty slow with a small group of zombies. By destroying objects and finding helpless civilians as you go, you can collect a bigger and bigger horde. After traveling to different zombified locations, collecting various power-ups that sometimes help you and sometimes kill you, the game really starts to speed up, and soon enough you're jumping over huge gaps and basically guessing what's coming next. It's really awesome. I also love the upgrade system of this game. By completing missions, you can unlock new zombie hats, new locations, and even permanent upgrades to your abilities. Tsunami is so addicting, I had to force myself to stop playing so I could keep working on this video. It certainly doesn't help that I can't stop myself from jamming out to the incredible background music. Once again, we have a game you can so easily get addicted to, Daddy Longlegs. I'm going to warn you all right now, most of this is just me flopping and starting over again and again, because it's a walking simulator, something like Quap, but with a tiny body and extremely long legs. It's all about the rhythm, getting some momentum going, because if you mess up even a little, it's probably very likely over. Which means you have to play this game in offline mode, by the way. You will be bombarded with ads otherwise. I had a single good round with Daddy here, making it to nearly 40 meters. I know I made it way further when I was playing as a kid though. You can also play as Horse, which is so funny, but the controls are completely different. He kinda jumps with each tap, so your movement feels a lot more unique. But since he's such a long boy, it's pretty easy to get far every round. You can get 10 meters by flopping right off the bat. The unlockables are just costumes for your characters, and there's a lot of fun ones, so I think it makes sense. But getting high scores is pretty addicting, I won't lie. Let me know if you have a crazy big score in this game. Who doesn't love a good mystery? I often find mystery games to be the most visually appealing genre as well. They seem to nail their art styles. And don't worry, these 2 games from our mystery games category will give you all the answers. We are fully prepared for the grand opening of our museum. All of the paintings are by the German artist Caspar David Friedrich. Everything is perfect until the Great Sneeze. This guy sneezed so hard he died, and now it's our job to fix the museum. Each painting has a little puzzle or a minigame to complete. so you can be lining up the correct mountains or playing Space Invaders, both equally fun of course. It's an incredibly short game that was funded by Germany, so there's no ads, it's completely free, and looks really nice and clean. I love the art style and the way you can interact with each painting. If you want a short little puzzle game, just go download and play it. It's less than 20 minutes long, very cute and endearing, and it definitely deserves a love. And I promise I won't spoil the ending here. I have been itching to play Duck Detective: The Secret Salami. It looks right up my alley, and it just got a sequel. So I'm going to play it through the first before deciding if I should buy the second too. The game is fully voice acted, and I wasn't expecting that, or the voice they'd give to the titular Duck Detective.
Oh, sweet spongy loaf. You keep me safe at night.
Man, this guy goes crazy for some bread. He's got to get through his divorce somehow.
Hannah! I'm a different duck now. I haven't had a slice of bread in weeks. You have to believe me! Yeah, you're speaking to the Duck Detective.
I was happy to see it's very similar to another mystery game I love, The Case of the Golden Idol. Would highly recommend. Anyways, you find clues around the room, and once you have everything, you piece it together and solve the mystery. The first is pretty obvious, and I definitely didn't get it wrong. But then our first real case begins at the Bear Bus office. The receptionist won't let us in, but why? Well, you can do a quick examination, which is an amazing idea for this game, search around the room for a bit, and find the truth. It's her birthday and nobody remembered. That was some great deduction on my part. Here's where the demo ends, and where I try to convince all of you to go get the full game now. I'll probably get it on Steam myself. But the voice acting's great, the Paper Mario style characters are awesome, and probably an homage to that Mystery Train section of that game, and I just gotta know how a secret salami fits into all this. Don't let the name fool you, bullet hell is heaven for the right crowd. Not everyone's gonna love these games, but it's a big enough genre I thought it probably deserves its own dang category. 20 Minutes Till Dawn is one of the most requested games I've gotten for the series, and considering how popular Vampire Survivors has become, it definitely makes sense. Because yes, this is a Vampire Survivors type game, and there aren't necessarily bullets covering the screen, but there is countless enemy fodder in every corner of your screen. You kinda just shoot while you run away, then come back to that spot later to collect all the XP you dropped. With XP you get upgrades to your health or attack, or you can get little bonuses like a shield or an additional weapon or even a dragon. That's the most fun part for me, just trying all the different upgrades and after a while having a lot of extra stuff helping you to beat enemies. It's called 20 Minutes Till Dawn because the standard mode is to survive for 20 minutes, or you can do endless, your choice. It seems like a cakewalk until the freaking Fortnite storm closes the perimeter around you. How could I possibly survive in here? I watched like 3 ads to keep reviving myself until it finally went away. Anyways, this is a pretty hectic but fun time. I'm terrible at this shit, but maybe I should just keep playing and get some practice in. The enemy designs are really strange, I'm curious what the lore of this game is, but if you like Vampire Survivors, or even roguelites in general, you'll probably love this one. But that's sort of a subgenre of bullet hell games, right? Let's get down to basics and play Bullet Hell 100. This is more of what I imagine when I think of this style of games. Just bright circles and lines across the entire screen. And you see that tiny little rocket ship? That's me! I gotta kill these snowflakes before they kill me. They give you some easy ones to start with, where you can learn the movement of the different attacks, but by the end, Jesus Christ dude, I can't even tell if I'm dealing damage to anything. I'm completely locked in on just surviving. Obviously, the more snowflakes you kill, the easier the level gets, but some are just so overpowering they could probably kill me all on their own. There's a ton of levels here, and obviously I'm not good enough to see the hardest ones, but if you're a Bullet Hell fan and somehow haven't played this one, I feel like I've just supplied you with your new obsession for the next few weeks. You're welcome. Look, I'll be honest, I had 2 puzzle games here, and then I found an incredible hidden gem with only 20 reviews called Candleman, so I changed this to the extremely hidden gem category and just kept one of the puzzle games, okay? Okay. Let's start with the puzzle game, Close Cities. Basically, you need 2 connecting squares to complete a city, and each city must be on a road. But cities can't touch, they have to stay separated. Your goal is to fill in the space of each level as tightly packed as possible without the cities touching, and it's pretty fun, I gotta say. It got my brain working on overdrive, and I felt super smart each time I completed a big stage. After a while, it switches to 3 squares per city, completely changing the game. Now each city takes up more space and can be angled in multiple different ways. I have to wonder if it'll keep going up. I made it to the 3rd world trying to see, but it's still just 3 squares per city. But man, already by the 3rd world I was struggling. It's pretty cool how each one has a unique theme though, it helps keep things interesting. This isn't a complex puzzle game, but I think I'm gonna keep this one, I really enjoyed it. Alright, now we can cover Candleman. I saw the icon in this game and thought, wow, that looks good, and then saw it had less than 20 reviews that were all 5 stars. So we're playing Candleman, and we're gonna give this thing some attention. You are the titular Candleman, and when you tap it, your wick gets lit, but you can't hold it for too long or you'll run out of candle and die. So hopefully the footage is okay to watch, considering the gameplay is just flickering the light every once in a while to see where you're going. It's a bit aimless at first, I'll admit, just simple platforming in a weird wooden land, but soon we reach a watery area. Turns out we are inside of a sunken boat, which makes so much more sense. And this water's freaking me out. That's like the natural enemy of the candle. After a fun little crate ride down the lazy river, we reach a door to unlock, venturing into the library. This is by far the coolest area I've played yet. The atmosphere is just spot on, and the pages of the book squash and stretch as light peeks through the windows. There's even some mystic bottles that help you float. Man, I'm just adoring this game right now. But what is that light? Why does it change the environment? Well, it's the lighthouse, and what is a lighthouse if not a giant candle? So clearly this is our end goal, we need to make it to that lighthouse. The next area proves water actually isn't the natural enemy of a candle, fire is. How could I have been so blind? This chapter is alright, the fire gets old pretty quick though. Not to worry, in the next section we escape the boat and make it into a luscious forest. There's plant life all over. And that's where I'll quit my little demo, but just look at how pretty that is. And look at all the dots down there, we're not even halfway. This game costs $5 and is worth so much more. The atmosphere alone is awesome. It's spooky, but not scary. There's voice acting, there's hidden secret candles, there's fun platforming, there's... Why the hell do I have to justify you buying this game? And more importantly, why the hell have you still not went and bought this game yet? Jeez Louise, are you dumb? Look at your screen! If this ain't a hidden gem, one of the greatest finds of this series even, then I don't know what is. Look, it's hard to top an actual masterpiece, so let's not even try, huh? Let's take a breather and play some nice and easy games from our word games category. Sorry, Molecano, looks like you gotta follow up Candleman. Poor Molecano. But still, what a fun, cute little word game. And I believe the guy who makes Dadish made this game. Our little mole is led to some free food, which is actually just a volcano. Classic mistake. Inside the volcano, we have to use words as bridges to collect each food item. It's so smart, it's like 3 word games in one, combining wordscapes and crosswords and Scrabble and probably so many more. It's just so genius. Or, well, I thought it was good, but there's a really bad mistake in the game. For some reason, it doesn't think MILF is a word, so yeah, go fix your game, buddy. In all seriousness, this is such an awesome concept. Other than just completing levels, you can unlock characters, and that's about it. This game isn't trying to be anything crazy, it knows what it is, and it does it well. Molecano is really great, and it flawlessly followed Candleman's lead, flawlessly. Every word game so far has been exactly what you expect from this genre, but Maginary has so many words, it's just a book. But an interactive book with some incredible presentation, and it's a game because of the different little segments you read through. It's very similar to Black Box, a game I covered in my previous video, where it expects you to use the settings and apps on your phone to solve puzzles. But first, let us read. Alright, you clicked on this video to watch, not to read, I get it. So here's some cool stuff that happens. As you're reading, it might tell you to turn back a page or to shake the book to move forward with your journey. Pages might freak out or slowly lose all color, or even have little effects on descriptive words. What's cool is these sound effects try to line up with your speed of reading, so it's almost like a live audiobook or something. The biggest interactive bits in the demo are when you need to illuminate the grass, so you turn your brightness settings up, or when you must face your phone southeast and it wants you to check the compass app. Or you can brute force it like me and just spin in a circle until it works. I really love shit like this, games where you have to go outside the app to solve puzzles. This sort of game can't be played anywhere but on your phone. Made for mobile, some might even say. I'm considering buying this full game because it's an awesome idea, but even if I do, I'm not spoiling the rest, buster. This is a book, go read it. And if you try to leave a comment telling me you're illiterate, you just self-reported, dumbass. Can you believe we haven't included the pixel art category since the first episode? I mean, we've played plenty of games with pixel art in these videos anyways, but still, let's cover a couple more. I think Bat to Bed might be one of my favorite games I've played for the series. We've had so many bangers already. It's crazy we're still getting such good ones 100 games in. You're just a little baby bat trying to reach the top of this cave, and he'll fly back and forth automatically while you control his flaps. You can be doing everything right, dodging and weaving with ease, and then one little mistake will send you down, down, still down, and finally you land and you can get back up again. It's like Jump King if you've ever played that game before. but otherwise climbing up and up and up is pretty fun and definitely never frustrating. There's a checkpoint eventually where you meet the villain, this little ghost guy. He turns into his ultimate form, a balloon. Such a smart idea for this game, I can't believe it. You gotta bounce him up while avoiding obstacles at the same time. It was all going great until... No worries, I'll just land right here. Okay, that's fine, surely I'll land that... Okay, we can speed this shit up. Yeah, I fell way down here. Don't look at how long it took me to get back up here and kill him. But yeah, that's the coolest part. That was all just the first level. I am absolutely going to play more of this in my free time, but there's a very real chance it gets too tough for me to progress sometime soon. Bad to Bed is an awesome game though, and I'd highly recommend it. Dude, oops, all bangers? Bleak Sword is incredible too! I mean, just look at this art style. The characters are 2D and the world is 3D, yet everything is super blocky and pixelated. It's so cool. You're kinda just a little guy fighting his way through waves of enemies. You can charge to attack, or block and counterattack. I spent the first couple levels exclusively countering each enemy, which was probably pretty dumb considering the amount of health I lost from it, but I finally got better at attacking and blocking. Slowly, more enemies are introduced, and some of them are pretty creepy. I love the monsters of this game a lot. These little group gremlins charge you down, they're tough to block. And of course, the first boss is a big group guy. I sort of just brute forced this fight. He hit me a lot, but I managed to hit him more. And each time you level up, your health regenerates. Then I immediately died in the swamp. What's cool is, even if you die, the game gives you one more shot to beat that level and recover your progress. I like that a lot, and if you fail, you only have yourself to blame. I died a couple times in the swamp, so I'll just call it quits there, but Bleak Sword is really fun. It's free through Apple Arcade, otherwise it's a couple bucks, but it is worth it, I promise you. Look guys, I really want to make a video covering every Nitrome game ever made. Nitrome is just a developer that's made oops all bangers for decades now, and there's like over 100 games at this point. And to convince you, here are 2 incredibly underrated titles from their massive library for our Nitrome category. My goal for this section was not to cover necessarily the greatest Nitrome games ever, or even the most well-known ones. I wanted to play some really great games that I don't see enough love for. In Colorblind, the world is so bright and vibrant, until our girlfriend is kidnapped. Then the world loses its color. So of course, as we explore this pixelated world, everything is black and white, but you can run past paintbrushes and palettes to pick up a new color, changing the platforms and objects ahead. Simply jump through a waterfall and you'll lose that color. Of course, you can already see the endless possibilities for this concept in a puzzle platformer. Barely avoiding spikes by hitting the waterfall just in time, push colored crates, jump over newly created enemies, and traverse backwards through a dangerous section you've been forced to create. It's pretty fun, and I'm excited to keep playing and see how many more mechanics they can introduce. I'm already at the second world, so I don't want to spoil too much more for all of you, but this is classic mobile gaming at its finest, no doubt about that. I happen to choose another color-based puzzle platformer here, but Hop Swap is pretty different. The world is split in half, yellow or purple, and you can swap between them by doing a ground pound. Your character automatically runs forward, so you can't stop to collect your bearings. All you can do is hop and swap. Again, there are so many ways to keep this concept going. Gaining height by swapping sides after a big jump, avoiding new enemies who can shoot at you, entering sections mid-air that you can swap between, and all the typical stuff you'd expect like springs and spikes and stuff. It's handled very well, and I adore the look of this game. What's crazy is this is all one big level, and if you choose to not buy any checkpoints, you could lose all of your progress. I didn't buy any for way too long. Thankfully, I finally caved right before I died for the first time. I am curious if the entire game is just this one level or not. I guess we'll both have to discover that for ourselves. I've only included a couple paid games so far. I try to let you know when I do, but paid games are typically higher quality with the risk of spending money on something you might not like. So let me do that for you. Here are 2 games from our paid games category that I play tested for all of you. People have been telling me to play Pureya since the first episode of the series. There's a fully animated intro cutscene where your player character drops all her marbles on the ground. The gameplay is like WarioWare with microgames, and here are just a few of the many you can find. Flying a paper airplane while dodging balloons, platforming with a penguin, swimming as a squid, shooting asteroids, playing doodle jump, and so much more. After collecting marbles, you can shoot them into a pachinko machine, and if you get enough in the hole, you'll earn some prizes. From costumes to new music and even new minigames. I shouldn't have even bothered recording my first few runs because later on the game gets to max speed and each minigame looks entirely different. Just look at the difference from the pirate ship minigame's initial speed versus its max speed. It's insane! I unfortunately became immediately addicted to this game and played it for like an hour. It is a little tedious replaying these same minigames, so that's why I got so addicted to trying to unlock more. And there's so many fun secrets, like when the roulette loses but that number isn't ready to give up just yet. There's a tiebreaker high-speed chase and whichever number wins takes that middle spot. What a fun idea. Pureya is a super well-made minigame pack and I can definitely recommend it. Never Alone is a story made with the help from the natives of Alaska to tell a very unique story. A lot of the elements of this are going to feature ideas from this culture, which is pretty cool. Including the intro, it reminds me of a shadow puppet sort of style. But this is what the game looks like. It's pretty nice. Without a second to spare, there's a polar bear chase. And I thought it would be funny to get killed by him, but was not prepared for a fate worse than death. Holy shit, that was insane the first time I saw it. The chase is pretty long, this bear is determined, but just before we're cornered and ragdolled into oblivion, a cute little fox saves the day. You actually get to control the little girl and the fox, but so far the fox is way more helpful. He saved us from that bear, he can climb tall walls, and he can summon spirits to help create platforms. Why the hell is this child even here? Sadly, when we make it back to the village, it's been destroyed, and we meet a crazy looking character who is going to help us, I guess. I played a bit more, but I've really shown the basics of what Never Alone has to offer. It's really cool hearing the language of Alaska's natives and hearing more about what I assume to be their folklore. I love the fox, and I love how crazy this game has gotten so far, so I can only imagine where it'll go from here. Alright man, I don't really like roguelikes personally, but other people do, and there's a lot of really great ones out there. I truly have no idea if these games are actually good, so please let me know if these were good choices for our roguelikes category. And if they are actually roguelites, you better not correct me in the comments, I don't want to hear it. Guidus has a really well animated intro, I love it. Once you start, you can choose your class. I just went for a simple swordsman. The controls are as basic as it gets, which is super appealing to me. You just swipe in the direction you want to move and swipe to attack an enemy right in front of you. Easy. You can choose your first upgrade, and I think I made the right choice. The first boss summons little enemies, and to be honest, my meteors did most of the work. But the real boss is a Frog King, who I sort of just ran up and killed even though I had a single hit left in me. We rescue the beautiful princess and begin the real game. I chose a different class this time, the Thief. He's pretty similar though. Traversing the dungeon, you can find keys that you can use for secret upgrades, which are crucial. One of them gives me this OP cloud that deals damage to enemies nearby. It made this Slime King boss trivial. Rescuing the monster scholar made me realize a bunch of gooners suggested me this game, didn't they? We move to the next floor where the enemies start to get tougher. They're red now, that's scary. But once again, I handled it all pretty well. Then fought this big knight damageless. No biggie. I like to say I continue doing this well, but I died to some pretty BS attacks at the end of the journey. Not fair, dude. I really enjoy this, honestly. Now, if only I could just pick up where I left off, I'd love this game. But no, you start over and lose your upgrades, which is where I lose interest. But it's pretty fun and super simple, so it's easy to get into, even for a newbie like me. The description of this game says it's a roguelike, but it kind of just feels like a turn-based tactical fighting game. Maybe I wasn't good enough to get to the roguelike stuff, I don't know. Anyways, ENYO features this little guy with a shield and a hook. He can push enemies into lava or spikes to kill them, or use his hook to pull them from a distance. You can jump and stun enemies too, but it won't kill. It seems simple enough, but when you actually go to fight enemies, their movement is really strange, I feel. I just couldn't personally figure out where each enemy would end up per turn. And the stupid bomb guy is so annoying, what a coward. The goal is to rack up points by killing enemies one after the other, and finish level after level with different environments and enemy types. It's a fun art style, and the way you attack is pretty unique. People like this game, and I wish I personally liked it, but I think I'm just too bad, so I didn't have much fun with it. I prefer just have levels with the same enemy positions, but that would be more of a puzzle game than a tactical game, I guess. Still cool, still deserves a shout out. I can't get enough of our cats category, and it's so fun to cover these games because they're always so different from one another. Here are two more that were suggested by all of you. I actually love nonogram puzzles, so I was excited to try Meow Tower. If you're unfamiliar, these puzzles just show you the number of filled-in tiles in each row, and you have to figure out which tiles those are. When you finish a puzzle, it reveals an image. They're usually pretty abstract, especially in the smaller beginner ones. The bonus of this game is the cute cats, of course. Each one has a room that needs decorating, so you collect currency to buy the furniture they request. We start with a pretty standard lazy and cozy cat room, before unlocking a rocker who wants a drum set and a bunch of other loud instruments. I like the concept, it's very cute, and I'm sure the puzzles get bigger and more fun as you play. Since we're so early in, they are incredibly easy, I did not struggle with any of them, and as far as I could tell there wasn't a punishment for missing a tile or two. Maybe you gotta mess up a lot for that to happen. Meow Tower is very casual and laid back, a stark contrast from the roguelikes we just covered. Maybe I'm just stupid, but I truly had no clue there were more Battle Cats games. I thought there was just one, and Battle Cats Quest seems to be the most ambitious spin-off. 3D Battle Cats? I've literally never seen them in any other dimension than the second. It's a King of the Hill sort of game, knock the enemies off before they can do the same to you. It seems to be endless as well, and wait a minute, is this a Battle Cats roguelike? I'm getting upgrades at the shop, dude, I think it is. I like how each animal has a different ability. Chameleons turn invisible, pufferfish get bigger the more you bump into them, and hedgehogs act just like Sonic, spin dashing you right off the edge. Fighting them was by far the toughest. Look how close they got to knocking me out. As you go, you can get new costumes. Unfortunately, all I got was an inverted color reskin, but still cool. Can you guess what eventually killed me? Some big guys? Nope, too easy. This bouncy panda? Almost. Nope, a single Sonic spin dashed me right out into the ocean. I thought I was unkillable for a second. It's not a mind-blowing game, not better than the original either, but a cute, harmless spin-off with a very fun gameplay idea. Let me know if the other Battle Cats games are any good. I asked for some card game suggestions in my last video, and you all delivered. I'm happy to return to our card games category. Void Tyrant is a big game with rounds that last quite a while. I didn't even make it to the final boss on my run, and it took me nearly an hour. Anyways, the gameplay is like blackjack but with weapons and monsters. You want a higher score than your opponent, without going higher than 12. The bigger the difference is, the more attacks you'll do. With your additional cards, you can tag on bonus effects, especially when you're confident you're going to win. It's pretty easy to understand, but pulling cards is completely luck-based, so you really have to hope the odds are in your favor. The enemy design is pretty fun, and by far the bosses offer the best challenges. They put up a fight, and the ones I beat were very close battles. Since it's a roguelike, on your journey you can find new weapons and cards to add to your deck. The enemies only get stronger and smarter, so you'll need better equipment than you start with. It's pretty fun, pretty intense, and a really well made game for such a simple idea. I mean, it's literally just blackjack to the death. Cards, the universe, and everything feature cards with, well, the universe and everything. Seems like you could almost find any concept you can think of on these cards. There's different themes, like I got a bunch of dino cards, but then I also got a spinning Jenny and a tongue, so the possibilities are truly endless. It might be fun to get a card with something you like on it, but what the picture is almost doesn't even matter. Either you want a good ability, a good amount of points, or something to match the theme. Each game has 5 arenas with different themes for each, and you'll get bonus points if your cards match up. Win 3 out of the 5 arenas and you are the champ. Bigger number truly means better person in this game. That is your entire goal. Obviously there's strategies and stuff, but I'm just starting this game. I can't even edit my deck yet. It's a fun idea, and I'm really curious what the weirdest or most interesting cards you guys got were playing, because I never saw anything that crazy in my game. No, you're reading the category name all wrong. These aren't dicey games, they're Dicey game. Get it now? Alright, whatever, just watch the freaking video, chud. Just to put this out there, Slice and Dice is a really fun game. Even I had a blast playing it, but it costs $9 after the first level. Definitely try before you buy. But yeah, as you all know, these games aren't usually my cup of tea, but Slice and Dice is awesome. You have a party of 5 characters and they each have their own dice. Most of the basic ones just have a sword and a shield with a chance to miss. Swords attack enemies, shields block damage, simple stuff. You have to hope for good rolls to make it happen though, which makes it so much more fun. Rather than just an RPG with basic moves, now there's this level of chance and luck that makes rolling what you need really exciting. As you go, you get new characters with better dice rolls. There's so many different stats on these, like the purple ones that deal damage every time you roll. I love customizing my party and finding new favorite dice. And the enemies are well done too, each one has some sort of ability, and the bosses get giant dice that just add to their big energy so well. I don't think I want to spend $9, but I love the first level and I know a lot of you will too. Dicey Elementalist looks and plays quite a bit differently. It's not as polished as Slice and Dice, but it does what it can and has a cute art style. The monsters in this one are pretty crazy, I gotta say. Now you're in control of a single character, and the dice you roll have elements on them. Each round you get different cards to use, and you'll try to hit each of the requirements so you can play them all. I got one that needs 3 of a kind to earn 15 shield, and that one card helped keep me alive through the entirety of this game. I like the idea of it, and I'm glad it's so different from our last game. It reminds me of Yahtzee, and there's even little mini games occasionally that just are games of Yahtzee. I died in the second world, but I had fun, and I like the idea here. People keep suggesting more RPGs to play, so fine. Put the RPG category card on screen then, if you must. Alright, I won't be mopey, these games are actually pretty freaking good. Let's start with OneBit Adventure. I feel like there's a little bit more than OneBit on screen right now, but I won't be the one to accuse them of false advertising or anything. It seems to be an endless game, it's even a roguelike, where your only control option is to move. You'll attack enemies by running up to them, but they deal damage to you too. I feel like defense has got to be one of the most important upgrades in this game. You are getting hit a lot. As you explore, you need to save up your healing items and find better weapons and armor so when you reach the next difficult area, you're prepared. For example, when I made it to this Hydra boss, I died instantly. Now this is mostly my fault because I hadn't been taking my time, and the movement in this game is kinda like Crypto the Necro Dancer. The enemies don't move until you do. You can stop and think about your next movement. But I wasn't doing that, so I died a bit. I used up all my heals and finally took the dang thing down. You at least get a lot back in return for beating it. It's a cool game, not really my thing personally, but there's a lot more to do here and I gotta wonder if there's an ending. If you've never played Evoland before and you like RPGs, man, you are missing out. Starting the game, you have one control option: move right. You unlock everything in this game, from sound effects to monsters and even color. But this game evolves as you play, which means, before you know it, the graphical style completely changes. It's so dang cool, it feels like playing through the history of video game art styles. And while the game starts out like a Legend of Zelda clone, with literal octa rocks and keys, the gameplay style completely shifts too, and now we're suddenly in a turn-based RPG. Isn't that cool? Throughout the game, it switches back and forth. There's probably other game genres in here too at some point. The graphics upgrade once more, we find a seed that turns us from young Link into adult Link, and eventually we unlock another party member, Ouija, and we head towards our first boss. We can only attack and heal at this point, so there's really no chance of losing. Once beating it, the game moves to the next generation. It's 3D now, and of course it looks like Dookie, it's evolving. You gotta play a bit more to get the textures in here. And I gotta quit spoiling it from there, but how cool is that idea? The game evolves as you play, you unlock every feature, it's incredible! And there's a sequel when you beat the first one. You're welcome. Final category time. I know, you're sad the video's almost done. But don't cry because it's over, babe. Cry because it happened. Cry because you've definitely heard of these two not so hidden gems. Now, what is this here? Obviously I'm gonna pick Dan, he's the man! This game needs no introduction, it's like the classic mobile game. Fun platforming, fun fighting segments, it's got it all. I do genuinely love how it controls. The fighting combos work really well and the movement of everything feels perfect. Getting to unlock new and stronger combos as you play is really the only thing I need to want to keep playing. I love the little anime cutscenes too, pretty much every level has them, that's dedication. And so far, I've only fought this robot boss, who is a glorified Bowser with that ground pound, let's be real, but I'm super excited to fight more bosses soon. Like I said, Dan the Man is classic. It's crazy if you haven't played it before, and crazier if you haven't heard of it. This is Half-Brick firing on all cylinders, and it definitely deserved a spot in one of these videos. There Is No Game is also a classic, but I played the original in my Flash game video before, but I have not played its sequel, which from what I've seen is a really awesome game. So I bought it and I'll show you guys a bit of it and then I'm gonna hunker down and play the rest immediately after. There Is No Game is all about trying to get you not to play. I love the little details, like please exit the game when the symbol appears on screen. It starts with an homage to the first game. We mess with the title, breaking off every letter until it's completely rebuilt. Then we destroy that one and find the play button. But now there's a door with a key on the other side. Slide the flag of France under the door, catch the key as it falls, and open it up. You're always having to break the game and find stuff like a cog in the loading menus. Then we're put into a fake OS system. From here you can find the computer's dirty private images, decipher the secret code, water the tree and find a nut for the flying squirrel, and collect the key. From there we travel through each language chasing after Mr. Glitch, and each time we're transported deeper and deeper until... well, that's ominous. And there is where I will leave things for you. That's chapter 1, and each chapter is completely different, but you'll have to see what I mean when you play it for yourself. It's a brilliant puzzle game and it's so fun breaking different genres. I cannot wait to play the rest, and I suggest you do the same. I really can't believe I've covered 120 games in this series. It is pretty much impossible for you to have not found a game you like at this point. There are thousands of mobile games to choose from on the App Store, but it can be so hard to find the diamonds in the rough. I know from experience how true that is, but through this series, I've shared the games I know of, the comments have given me their lists that they've found, and collaboratively, together, we have amassed a giant list of mobile games that are deserving of the spotlight. They deserve an audience of people such as yourselves. So thank you to everyone who's helped spread the word about your favorite games. It's been a blast, and I've played so many bangers now, I honestly feel spoiled. I kinda plan to end the series here, but who knows? If enough people want to see more, I'd be more than happy to continue. What was your favorite game from all the games I've shown in the series? It is pretty tough for me to pick, honestly, but I might have to go with Moonlight from the previous video. But let me know what yours was. Thank you to my members who made this series possible. Please consider supporting me if you can. It helps me be able to make videos like this. Thank you Patrick Barjan, Keep, Gall Guy, Jeb the Legend, Cheaper Yang, Test Monkey, Callum Ford, Perska, Banana Checky, Mr. Odell, Timor, Kuranov, Aaron the Ghoul, Freakish Smile, Ceramic Tiger, Gemini, Lewis, Omegon, Jonathan Biscoff, Lavatane, Green Man Yap, McCrazy, Bright Streak, OK, Dante, Skibbity, MGR, Damadan, and Mirai.
And Einerjar and Live Good.
What am I gonna do with my life now? And more importantly, how am I gonna download anything ever again? Do you know how much storage 120 mobile games takes up? Newsflash, it's a freaking lot, dude.